Something is wrong at Bethesda. You see, boys, this is the exact reason why we need pattern recognition. The better your ability to recognize these things, the better your life is gonna be. The average person already 15, 20 years ago started figuring out, wait a minute, maybe the fact that Bethesda cannot release anything that's not a buggy mess is some kind of magical indicator of things to come. And look at this, nowadays, where we are. We're at the Fallout Anniversary Edition, we're at Starfield, we are at the Oblivion, a remake, non-stop stuttering of bugs and lag issues. We're at the point in life where people do not want to have Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6 because it's made by Bethesda. We have gotten so far. All of Bethesda's devs are talentless. They are so talentless, in fact, they have created talent in being talentless. These freaks can't even honestly leave their own games alone and just do nothing with them and let the people who have talent actually fix them. They can't even do that. And people are slowly waking up. Oh, maybe Bethesda's not a great gaming company. It never was. It never was. Todd Howard is a snake oil salesman. Thank you for noticing, finally.
I want to start off by saying I feel bad for some of the devs at Bethesda. No doubt they're busting their ass right up until Christmas on a lot of these patches. They've had to fix everything from Fallout 4 to Skyrim. But what
do you mean? Bethesda devs busting their asses off? What? Are we living in parallel universes? I'm sorry. How many updates Bethesda games are receiving? I mean, we can put all of the Bethesda games together and we're barely receiving a minor update a month. Working their ass off? They haven't made a game in decades. Except for Starfield, I guess. Which they shouldn't have had. They don't update things. They don't make games. Well, what the hell are they doing? I'm pretty sure the qualifications to be a Bethesda developer at this point is to not even know what coding is. I could become a coder, and I think computers run on black magic, and I'm not even joking, boys. There's no way you're gonna convince me that there's like these billions, trillions of small microscopic things that turn off, and that's how you get color on this thing. There's no way you're convincing me of that, okay? I think I'm the perfect Bethesda candidate for a programmer. Zero experience, absolute unwillingness to learn, and I will do nothing. Maybe blame the community, okay? I'm probably the best Bethesda dev that has ever existed, and I don't even work at Bethesda.
What's going on here, man, is so saddening, but I have really reached that apathetic phase. Like, I look at everything we're about to talk about today, and I don't feel anything, but the only emotion that does get brought out of me is the sadness that I don't feel anything, because I'm now used to this. And I get it. Some people are going to go, it took you a while to get here, bro.
Dude, all of these people started talking... Well, not really bad things, but like minor negatives about Bethesda at one point. It seems like the checks are no longer clearing.
Pound your chest, sure. But for me, it's one of those things where I go, this company is capable of so much more, but they have created this entirely new floor for themselves that I find wholeheartedly disappointing, because it's simple things like Fallout 4 patches and Skyrim re-releases that are now getting bungled. And as we'll talk about to round out this video with some new Elder Scrolls 6 comments, it's one of those things where I cannot trust Bethesda when they're saying we're taking our time, that it's going to end up great, because anytime they've...
LOL, taking your time. Listen, no one wants the Elder Scrolls 6. No one wants Fallout 4. The math is simple here, by the way, if you don't understand what I'm saying currently. It works like this. If we get an Elder Scrolls in the next 5 years... I think it's going to be faster, by the way. And then Fallout also is going to be faster. One of those games is probably not going to be made by Bethesda Prime also, which is kind of good. But at the same time, again, if these games come out in the next 3 years, the next Fallout or Elder Scrolls is going to then that means it's going to take roughly 10 to 13 years or something like that to come out. So I'd rather not have the shitty Bethesda version of slop that they're offering us with their woke everything that they're going to put in, and just wait 5 years instead of 3 and actually get a real game. Or at least a semblance of a real game that at least someone can mod into being playable. That's the dream. This is why so many people do not want to even get to new games, because in the end you're going to get slop, you're going to get something you're going to be disappointed, you're going to get something that you don't want to play. Now, granted, I will milk the absolutely living daylights out of that. Imagine an Elder Scrolls 6 coming out and it's bad. Which it will be bad. I mean, seriously. The best Elder Scrolls content that we have had in literally years is Elder Scrolls Online, where they made a video of the villain beating the good guys, and everyone was like, whoa, this guy's really cool, this guy's really... Yes, they couldn't... Listen, the best piece of Elder Scrolls media that we have had in literal decades is a teaser trailer where people mistook the bad guy for the good guys and the good guys for the bad guys, because that's the quality level that Bethesda is working with.
Taking their time, dating back to even as recently as the Fallout 4 next-gen update last year, does not show to me that it was, quote, worth the wait. It's likely on hold because things aren't turning out as well as they should. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we got to talk a little bit about Fallout 4. Its December patch is out now. There's, again, some speed bumps, and I think Bethesda will be updating this game well into at least February of 2026, which is crazy to be saying, because, again...
I hope they just give up. I don't care.
And their attention could be a million other places. I'm glad they're hanging with it and fixing it, which they didn't do in 2024, but nonetheless, it's still a sad state of things in Fallout 4. And did you know Skyrim got a new release on Switch too? And that had issues that Bethesda had to go back and fix. Yes, Skyrim, like the Bethesda darling. So when I see Skyrim's getting messed up, that's when I really start to feel true concern. I'm like, look, they treat Elder Scrolls on a whole other level. That having some sort of miss in the QA department, oh boy. And as you can tell, I got a lot.
Wait, that's a lie. Why are you lying? That's a blatant lie. Elder Scrolls is a buggy dumpster fire also. Skyrim had like a billion different bugs. What are you talking about? They even haven't fixed all of them until this day. Well, like, what do you mean? No, Bethesda doesn't have quality in Skyrim. Or the Elder Scrolls franchise. They don't. What is that kind of what is that lie?
To say. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, a quick word from today's sponsor. The following video during today's video. Okay, Fallout 4 December patch. They start off with some pretty disappointing news. They say, with our December patch, we're addressing the following fixes listed below. Your feedback and reports have been greatly appreciated and have helped us sort through a few key pain points for players. It was a goal of ours to launch the storage expansion on console this year. Knowing it's been one of the top requests for players, while the team has made progress, we need a little more time to roll this out for console players, and we will need to wait until the new year. Thank you for your continued feedback, etc., etc. So yeah, that one positive addition that could have came from all of this, which is the ability to add more creations to your save file, bigger creations, enable modders to bring bigger projects over, is being held off until next year. So what does this patch include? Save load and content handling. So a lot of, again, creation related issues here, where there were missing creation bundles on Steam. Of course, general UI and UX improvements across everything from ROG Ally to Steam Deck to consoles, PC.
So, again, this is the patch. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Fixed issues with missing... This is probably not fixed. A game now recognizes Creator Club content. Maybe? Who knows? Again, half of this is not fixed. And half of this is like, who cares? There are bigger issues at hand, but you haven't fixed them. Like, why?
See... There were some crash and stability fixes that were added in. So basically, if you were loading in with all of your creations downloaded, especially on PlayStation, the game would crash. They fixed the UI for ultra wide, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That's a crazy situation.
That has been an issue for literal years, and it never got properly fixed. Turns out it's crazy
situation here, and some localization adjustments as well. Again, I'm not going to complain that they're hanging with it. This is much better than what was going on last year. Still, PlayStation fans are struggling. You go to Reddit, and they still don't have their DLC issue solved for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 players, and PS5 Pro players are still having issues, as you can see here with the December patch. People still don't see Beast Hunters on PlayStation. There's not been any updates on that from Bethesda Game Studios. I have no idea why. It's just this very quiet thing over there, but I just feel like Fallout 4 is completely on fire right now. So yeah, it's a little bit of the same story you've heard before, which just now. Well, that's the just now, okay, just now, because the next generation update that broke the game and made it unplayable for like 80% of the people still playing it. Oh, don't worry about that. That's fine. But the anniversary edition, it's pathetic. I mean, are we just gonna... Again, the game has been literally unplayable for a year or something like that for a lot of people because of the next generation update. People don't even know what the update actually did because it looks worse. Like, it's just incompetence on another layer of incompetence. If people can transcend into godhood by representing something, Bethesda is going to become a god, and I kind of feared that. The god of incompetence. And they're probably smiting me down pretty hard. I am the #1 channel for everything negative Bethesda, by the way, and I love it. Which is why, again, I'm a little apathetic to it all. The ultra-wide UI fixes is kind of crazy because what you're seeing on screen here is how ultra-wide launched for Fallout 4. So when they did the next-gen update, they updated the resolution, but they didn't update any of the UI elements. So it's all stretched like this. They just left it like this for over a year, dude. Like, this is what
And he's saying this like this is something new. Oh, Bethesda does something, breaks the game, and they leave it like that for multiple years or something. Yes, this is normal. This is literally how this works. It's the same as playing hardcore World of Warcraft. You're just waiting until Blizzard's servers kill you. That's effectively the only thing you're doing. And you know it. And you know it.
I'm saying, like, the bar could not be lower in some areas. I'm like, really? Ultra-wide support? And it takes 18 months, 19 months to update the UI for it? Really? Now, obviously, fans...
Now, granted, I actually don't know which update this is, because they updated it once, and they fixed, like, I don't know, 2 out of 10 issues that ultra-wide mode had. And then they updated it again, but I'm pretty sure they didn't fully fix it.
Disappointed because the mod storage increase was not here as promised for December. Juice pointed out in his video that Bethesda moderators were saying that it was never set for December, but if you literally go look at the Bethesda Net post, they say an update for Fallout 4 is expected in December 2025, including significantly increased...
Classic Juice head getting paid that Bethesda dink doink.
But if you literally go look at the Bethesda Net post, they say an update for Fallout 4 is expected in December 2025, including significantly increased creations, mods, storage on consoles. So yeah, the expectation was set there. The Fallout TV show for season 2 is in full swing. We did a live review of episode 1 as a little bit of a test run there, and I was really happy with everyone who showed up, and I appreciate you being there. That was a fun time. I bring all of this up because the reason Bethesda did all this, and Todd Howard said it himself, is because of the Fallout TV show. The reason they did the Fallout 4 Next Gen update, the reason they did Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, the reason they did New Vegas style content in Fallout 76. Todd literally says in this interview with Game Business that they're trying to capitalize on the Fallout TV show. The problem I have with these updates is it's not like a Cyberpunk 2077 situation where you have like a myriad of bugs burying an otherwise phenomenal role-playing game experience. What you have here is a company that tried to introduce what is effectively a storefront and broke the entire game in the process and has spent months of resources now fixing it and introducing new issues every single time. It's not like Bethesda added new quest lines to celebrate
one step forward, a somersault backwards.
The TV show. It's not like they added a new location, new official DLC. Nothing like that. It's not like they put their best foot forward and said, here's what creations are capable of doing with our own DLC size mod that's in here for free. Like, nothing. It was just, here's a storefront. And it's completely ruined things on PlayStation for sure. PC players like me have had issues running the game.
Okay, listen, I'm tired of actually mentioning the PlayStation players. Okay, listen, the the 2.5 people playing Fallout on PlayStation, it's okay if they get a little bit of that not fun time. Okay, I think it's fine. 2.5 people is not a lot.
Game where I'm just completely disenfranchised with Fallout 4, which I hate to say, but like it's not a game I want to play anymore. It's just not fun to play because there's constantly issues. And capitalizing on the Fallout TV show was something we were advocates of because we wanted new content. But it's definitely one of those moments where you go, not like this. Like I didn't want you guys just to throw a storefront our way and call it there. But it's very clear Bethesda wants these storefronts everywhere. And that kind of transitions us right into Skyrim. So Skyrim Anniversary Edition shadow dropped on Nintendo Switch 2. You can get it for $60.
$60.
And just like it was
oh my god. Please don't buy it. Another anniversary. This is like the 40th iteration of Skyrim that has nothing new.
Time around, if you own the base game, it is going to cost you around $20 to upgrade. If you own Skyrim Anniversary Edition already, the upgrade for the Switch 2 version is free. It came with its own slew of problems. You'll see on Reddit people saying that Switch 2's version of Skyrim is absolutely terrible. One of the main reasons...
Surprise, surprise. Buy Bethesda products, be surprised it's bad. Wow. Some people never learn.
Reasons that people didn't like this is because they had to find a solution to actually upgrade the game. So if you have a physical copy of Skyrim on Switch and you want to upgrade, what you have to do is remove your cart and then delete your installed data and then reinsert the cart, and it's going to actually download the latest version of the game now that everything's been deleted. And with that, it's a like 53 gigabyte download. There have been plenty of other new updates that have come to existing games. One example in this Reddit post is Hogwarts Legacy, where it's like, boom, it's just an update. But for some reason, Skyrim Anniversary...
I'm sorry, which is supposed to be the better looking one? This because of the trees. Okay, this because of the trees.
Anniversary Edition requires you to delete everything to then reinstall it. But some people might think to yourself, well, who cares? Fair. Reviews are starting to roll out. Skyrim Anniversary Edition, just hugely disappointing, according to Nintendo Life. They say you may have already clocked the score at the bottom, so let's get to why we're so harsh this time. It's chiefly because Bethesda's taken a game that's on Switch 1, and while restrained in comparison to some of its fancier ports, got the job done smoothly and competently. Yes, it was 30 FPS, but it felt nice. With this Switch 2 upgrade, they've decided to smash a bunch of volumetric effects and graphical enhancements into the situation, as well as upping the resolution. Admittedly, I'm no Digital Foundry buffin, but DLSS is being employed and the resolution has been improved. But then, why no 40 FPS at the very least? Honestly, my friends, Bethesda crapped out a terrible version of a game they've released hundreds of times already, and I believe they've done it for Christmas. And that was my read of this. When I saw this get shadow dropped, I'm like, this has...
Well, this makes sense because I'm pretty sure every Bethesda dev is a Tylenol baby at the bare minimum, okay? I mean, we're talking about Tylenol and the first thing at the morning they huff a paint thinner, okay? That's my lifestyle. That's not good.
Just Christmas/holiday rush all over it. You know, just getting people involved, using their Switch, buying Bethesda games everywhere. That's what it reads like to me. We're going to eye test this one. I mean, you can see this comparison here from, again...
I have no idea which is supposed to be the better one. I guess this because it has more hair follicles? I guess? And the chainmail's slightly better? There is... it's just... there's not enough. There's not enough. There's just nothing.
And Nintendo Life.
This is probably AI upscaling.
Shout out to them for all their coverage of this Switch 2 release of Skyrim. No 30 FPS. Do you see on screen?
And by the way, this looks jarring for some other reason. If this is supposed to be better, it's worse because it feels jarring. It feels off. This feels better to look at. Am I the only one? This feels better. This one right here feels better to look at. This one feels a little bit jarring. There's an unreasonable amount of bloom. I think that's supposed to be light. I'm not even fucking sure. And it's like, well, I don't like this. I don't like this. This is worse. The upgraded version is once again worse than the default because this is It's wrong. This is just, there's something wrong about this. The amount of detail is hurting it.
A reason why, I mean, we are talking about a 2011 game that got remastered in
Here it's okay. Here it's okay, at least. But again, it's not a big deal.
2016, and that version got a little uptick in 2020. Are we really looking at something here that couldn't push past that 30 frame rate? Like, I don't see this significant graphical difference where I think, okay, you know, like it's holding it back a little bit, especially because, look, man, the Nintendo Switch 2 is a great piece of hardware. I don't think the whole stinky Switch argument
Wait, isn't that fireball supposed to explode, by the way?
applies to it anymore. This thing could absolutely run at 60 frames. The quality assurance, though, continues to be an issue here because Digital Foundry submitted a comment on perhaps the most mind-boggling aspect of this all. They said, by using a high-speed camera to film a wireless Switch 2 Pro controller and the Switch 2 in handheld mode, we've measured roughly 220 to 240 millisecond difference between the press of a button and corresponding Skyrim action.
Isn't 200 milliseconds lag? Isn't that feelable lag?
Like swinging a weapon or moving through the menus. How slow is that? While not apples to apples comparison, we know that the Xbox 360's motion sensing Kinect camera rig has comparable input latency between captured real world motion and kinematic translation in Xbox 360's Kinect calibration menus. So yeah, this isn't like, oh, you're using the motion controls. This is Skyrim, you press a button and there's a delay. And that was what was popping up in the Reddit post.
It's like lag.
People were having input lag on Skyrim for Switch 2. Bethesda said they were investigating this report, and they said, while it's being...
How does this even get past? Like, there is no world where Bethesda is stupid enough to not notice this. They knew. They knew, and they chose to let it through. Well, of course they did. This is going to probably take 5 years for them to fix. And if someone creates a community patch, then they're going to break that. They're gonna update it so it breaks. I honestly think Bethesda updates their games out of spite because someone else fixes the issue sometimes. I honestly think that's the thing. We already know that Bethesda has a history of doing it. For example, Fallout New London, and there was some other mod that they did the same thing. Oh, what? You're gonna release a game in our game that's better than our game? Well, how about an update? Who says we never update our games? Here's 5 things that no one asked for that don't improve the game, but they ruin the code, and you can't now launch your thing. Yeah, it's horrible.
Investigated, you could turn off gesture attacks, so it seems like something was happening with the motion controls compared to the button press. So that's where the delay and the hang up was there. And that's where I'm sorry, because it's going to sound like a disingenuous assumption to anyone at Bethesda who catches this video. But look, dude, I look at this and I'm like, did anyone play this before it went out? Because
maybe
you press a button and you feel it. Like, you know, that's off. That's off. Like, we have to test this. Like, that's where I look at things like the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. This, Shattered Space. Like, it's just, there's so many moments where I'm like, did anyone play this before it went out? Like, did we really need to rush this? Now, to be fair,
even the people at Bethesda don't want to play Bethesda games. We all know it's true.
Bethesda jumped on this really quickly. It took a couple of days, and they said, this morning we released an update for Skyrim Anniversary Edition for players on Switch 2, which addresses input latency. So it seems to have been fixed, but again, this is where I say I feel bad for the devs at Bethesda. It's December 19th, dude. Like, I know for a fact they got to be off by this point in time, but they're not. So you're seeing here the problem continues for them, man, and it's just frustrating because it feels like they're spread in a million directions, and I'm just wondering.
Bro, they're not spread in a million directions. They're probably all sitting, doing nothing, and collecting paychecks. There's no way anyone at Bethesda does work. There is no way. There's just no way. Those people don't actually do work, and whatever they do is probably incompetent. Whatever anyone Bethesda takes a month to do is probably done by someone competent in less than 5 hours. It's over. It is over for Bethesda. No one likes them. The fans are gone. The money is drying up. Congratulations, Microsoft, on spending $9 billion on Bethesda. You got Starfield. Good luck. The 2.0 Starfield update is coming on, and it's not gonna be a redemption story. It's not even gonna be an actual, like, it's gonna be a waste of time, which I will cover. Don't you worry about that. Anyway, that was Mr. Matty Plays 10 out of 10. Bye.